So what he does is when Joseph Biden gets himself into a corner, he gets tough. He does real talk. Yeah. So he goes, hey, and you know, when we're talking about the 100 years in the BC and AD, you don't care about that. Listen. That's what he does.
Yeah, exactly.
He tries to just all of a sudden go through it. I don't need to go through the details and facts and bicker about who killed who. You know the thing. And he tries to act like he's one of the folks, even though he probably hasn't met a folk in 35, 55 years. And I wanted to show you some examples of this so you can know to watch for it going forward. Because anytime you see him abandon his train of thought and just go, look, listen, or try and get tough, or shoot straight from the shoulder, as he says, you know that he's actually lost his train of thought, and the media will never call him on it. So here's the first one where he talks about the truths and the thing. Watch his behavior, and we'll show you the pattern.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
That's a classic.
No.
That is a
People
classic.
behind him are pausing like, what the?
No.
Wait,
what did you say?
No, I
Finish
don't
it.
know. No, I don't know the thing. Can you tell me the thing? Oh, you're just trying to do... What am I trying to do? You're just trying to... What am I trying to... Stop!
It's like the alphabet. It's like A, B, C. You know the thing.
The alphabet.
You can finish it.
What? The alphabet? What are you talking about? You know, and the cereal. What? Lucky Charms. Here's the next example, and this is recent. And I don't think this was a gaffe. Well, it's the Pledge of Allegiance. I think he had no intention of saying the Pledge of Allegiance because he doesn't know it. But I don't think he was planning on saying the Pledge of Allegiance and lost his train of thought. I think that he was trying to, again, create a predetermined defense mechanism with... I don't know the Pledge of Allegiance, so I'll just kind of start it and sort of act like I'm being flippant and then move on, and hopefully no one will call me on it, and they didn't. So here's that clip.
America, I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. One nation, indivisible, under God, for real.
For real?
Real, man.
Oh, because I thought it was for fake. I think I've forgotten some parts of the Pledge of Allegiance. Hey, former Vice President of the United States, could you help me out?
Yeah, just fill in those blanks.
Here's another one where he had this mental illness clip. He does the same thing from this recent town hall. It's just, again, you notice this, you can see him going, oh crap, I'm reaching the end of a sentence, and I don't know where I'm going with this because I don't remember where I started or how I got here. Say anything else. Here you go.
Look, we learned drug abuse doesn't cause mental illness. Mental stress and mental illness cause drug abuse. We've learned so much that we can change so much, and that's why we have to make sure that the super wealthy start paying their fair share, so we can do the things we have to do to make life better for hardworking middle class folks.
Well, if we've learned so much, thank God you're not the teacher. I am. He goes, we've learned so much. Well, hold on. What do you mean we've learned from what you've just said? Come on.
I don't think I learned anything from what you said.
The rich need to pay their fair share. Well, you're rich. By the way, does anyone else find it ironic that, of course, he's like, no one over $400,000 will be paying more in taxes? What's the presidential salary? You demented old circus monkey. It seems like you're right around that cutoff. The only difference is you've been suckling at the public teat. You've never made it in the private sector from people willingly offering you money for goods or services. It's like, no one who makes any less than my exact salary will pay more in taxes. That's never been the cutoff. Here's another one where he was asked something about, this one is just more nonsensical, but again, he's trying to speed up and sound like he's one of the people and off the cuff, and that's where he's really bad. And so then he says things that not only don't make sense in this context, they've never made sense.
I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation. The president asked me to head up a cancer moonshot.
What?
Cancer moonshot?
Do you mean for yourself? Was the president telling you that you had cancer moonshots? Is that what he was saying? And by the way, did you misunderstand that the current president, Barack Obama, at that point was trying to tell you that you had brain cancer? That you interpreted it to Barack Obama. Joe, I think you want to maybe get checked for some brain cancer. Moonshot? No, I said brain cancer. Moonshot? Let's go with that. And then he's just like, you know what? He probably won't be alive the next time. Usually it's the VP who's going to be running, but it'll be Hillary. And then then he'll be
task.
long gone in a jacket in a room with felt white walls.
I mean, is there any other time in history that a guy that was this incompetent
It's
in
the
public?
best the Democrats have.
Well, it's probably. Hey, we didn't say that. You did primaries, right? You voted for this guy as the best among all of you. But he would never, in any other presidential election, like this guy, we would be like, he can't be. There's no way, right? We got to pick the socialist over this guy because this guy will get in the White House and forget he's there.
Playing both, when you have to look at the double-edged sword, I'd be pissed if I were Pete Buttigieg. I'd be like, hold on, so this is the guy. I'd be like, wait,
I can
really? The only sin I committed is I like.
Yeah.
Thought you guys liked that.
I would rather hire a demented old circus monkey than an articulate, clean-cut man who is generally likable, but I happen to like the D. That was my disqualifying factor.
Exactly.
He should register as an independent, and I'd welcome him with open arms. Here's another one who, for many of you may have forgotten, because I know some of you are younger and you haven't been following Joe Biden for a long time. I was following him back during the primary when he was running against Obama and said his racist stuff back then.
It was hilarious.
And I don't think, by the way, to be clear, I don't think that Joe
it.
Biden is a racist. I really don't think he's a racist. I think that he says racist things, which I find hilarious because I know old people, and I know plenty of old people who are not racists, but they say racist things because it's just you know what?
They're old.
What do they care at this point?
They're confused.
They also steal a lot. I don't know if you know
really
this.
do.
Old people steal because what are you going to do? Lock them up?
Yeah. They'll just
No one
apologize.
does anything with old people.
Put me away, Kappa, for this
When
Twix
I
bar.
am old, I am going to be a kleptomaniac Klansman. That's what I'm saying.
Geez.
And it's not even what I want to do.
No, it's just
It's a rite
It's just
of
the flow of
passage.
life.
So many of you don't remember this, his quote about the double-barreled shotgun. And again, in this he does the same thing back then, but I hadn't noticed it. It wasn't as severe. But he starts talking, and he notices, wait a second, get a double-barreled shotgun fired into the air, and he realizes, oh, I just advocated something seriously illegal. Listen, you don't need, and he changes subject in another nonsensical way.
Said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts
Felony.
outside the house. I promise you, who's ever coming in is not going to. You don't need an AR-15.
Here it comes.
It's harder to aim. It's harder to use. And in fact, you don't need 30 rounds to protect yourself.
That's not a fact. That's not a fact. When he goes, you fired it in the air. Let me redirect. It's harder to use. It's harder to aim. Well, aiming is one of the primary uses of firearms, so I assume that he kind of covered it. But I get it. It's okay. You're about 94. We'll give you a pass. He goes, and firearm fact. I'm a firearm aficionado, so maybe there's something I don't know. You don't need 30 rounds. Oh, no, see, that's not a fact. That's opinion.
Well, and how many people are there?
Right. How many people are there?
Seems to be relevant.
Here's a
Recently,
fact.
there's a lot.
There are some studies that show the average number of shots to hit somebody is 7, depending on which studies you use. I don't have the sources available to me, but it's certainly more than 1. And there are studies that show that people who commit armed robbery usually more than 1. I don't have the source, but I saw the town.
basically he just thinks it's like a duel where nobody moves and you just kind of like stand there and take a shot at each other.
Right.
So you just don't need 30 anymore. Just stand there and take it.
Which, by the way, is I don't think how duels were actually performed.
I think that's what
from
it
I
happened,
understand.
yeah.
That's what they did in the films.
It's like quick draw.
I think they did it because John Wayne had a limp and walked kind of gay.
Really?
Yeah.
John Wayne's the reason we had that?
All right, and here's another one, my personal favorite that's recent and the media has tried to sweep under the rug. And one would say probably most relevant because if we're talking about President Donald Trump not doing enough in regards to COVID, and I can understand that you feel that way, you think that, I understand that there's an argument to be made. I think it's a bad argument, but I understand why people are saying it. However, if you are making that argument, you can't say we should replace him with the guy who doesn't know what year it is, how many deaths have occurred with COVID, or the fact that COVID has not killed hundreds of people over thousands of years. In other words, you can't have it both ways. Here's a clip.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it.
Think about it.
More lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years.
Huh?
Think about it. You first. You know what?
That's your job.
I don't even need you to finish the thought. Just start.
I mean, I had not seen that clip, and I'm just like, what? In the last, what was the logical point that he was going to make? It's taken more lives than anything else in the last 100 years. There's nothing that fits that.
Listen.
There's nothing.
I will be clear because sometimes I blur the lines of satire and fact. Isn't that right, RBG?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, but
I would also like to add Joe Biden. I know him personally.
Mm-hmm.
He's a sharp young man, and without any further substantial evidence, I would have to conclude these are all deep fakes.
Right. Well, that's
Well,
fair.
she's even though
She's a
not quite
tech-savvy
dead,
old lady.
she'll be voting for Joe Biden for sure.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
several
Not
times.
quite. Yeah, she's mostly
Several
alive.
times she'll be voting for Joe Biden. No, with Joe, let me just say this, okay? There's a difference between and I appreciate you clarifying satire, and I blur the lines. So let me be clear here. In watching that, where he says 100 years and the deaths and the COVID more than any 100 years, not fact. Joe Biden has dementia. Okay,
does,
I cannot confirm that just because we
He
can't get a
has to.
doctor in the
Speculation.
green room
Yeah.
because Brian Stelter is like a hockey goalie, stopping you from getting. Stop it! Please stop it! He needs his space. He's been campaigning
Yeah.
for 25 minutes. He has to. Did you see that Joe Biden stopped campaigning one day at like 9:30 in the morning this week?
He's called a lid, I think, almost every day before noon. It was like
like, I gotta
8:30,
take a nap.
9:30.
And say what you want about Donald Trump. The guy has energy for days.
Yeah. You may not like what he says, but
You
he
may
says
not
a
like
lot.
where he invests his energy.
He works
Yeah.
all day as president and then
Yeah.
does a 2-hour rally.
Right.
Yeah,
Incredible.
exactly.
And then when he's done, he unwinds with a Diet Coke while tweeting.
Yeah.
The guy's the
It's a rockin'
The
night.
guy is the T2000 of abrasive assholes. If you're a
Doesn't
Democrat,
stop.
he just can't stop. He's
will
putting
never
his
sleep.
hook hand into the
will
back of
not
your
stop.
Buick while his other arm is tweeting.
Watch Good Morning Mug Club live every Monday through Thursday at 10:15 Eastern.